The biggest MVP snubs in NBA history. Like the players in every sports league, the NBA stars expect that after all their tooth and nail efforts, dedication, and hard work, they will be awarded the most prestigious basketball award, the MVP. But does the world follow the rules all the time? So, how can you expect that from the NBA? Hey there. Welcome to the channel. There is a long list of NBA players who were not given the MVP award even after achieving more than everyone in the season. MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, and many basketball legends are also a part of it, but we have chosen the biggest MVP snubs in NBA history. Stick around to see the all bizarre reasons behind these, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Dave Cowens over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the 1972-1973 season. Who can forget the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? In the 70s, he kept everyone frustrated with his agile moves around the rim and his offensive and defensive attacks. That may be why he kept coming off back-to-back 2 MVP wins in a row without realizing the fact his success had tired some voters. In the 1972-73 season, Kareem averaged 30.2 points, 16.1 rebounds, and 5 assists. However, voters had made up their minds to dethrone the king and offer the crown to a new face. So, they chose Dave Cowens over Kareem. The only real reason they were choosing Cowens was that his basketball team, the Celtics, won 68 games that season. However, that does not justify giving Dave Cowens the award when Kareem shot 10% better from the field. In fact, Kareem had a 21.9 win share compared to Cowens' 12, and his team, the Bucks, won 60 games that year. Other than people not wanting to vote for Kareem for a third season in a row, there isn't much else to say why he didn't win the award. Magic Johnson over Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, the 1989-1990 season. If you are a die-hard NBA fan, you should know that the 1989-90 season was the most epic in NBA history since 3 NBA stars, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Michael Jordan competed in one of the closest MVP award races in NBA history. However, Michael Jordan was by far the best player, scoring 33.6 points per game, averaging 6.3 assists per game and 2.8 steals per game. Interestingly, that year voters opted to award MVP based on the league's most valuable player, not just the best scorer. Since Jordan was still seen as a great player, Charles Barkley edged him out slightly. Barkley was statistically the most worthy to the voters, averaging 25.2 points a night, 11.5 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game, 1.9 steals per game, and a blistering 60% shooting percentage from the field. Despite scoring 22.3 points per game and shooting 48% from the field, Magic Johnson was named MVP, which made zero sense to many, especially for NBA fans. It is also the most bizarre and controversial decision made by MVP voters. Karl Malone over Michael Jordan, the 1996-1997 season. If you still don't believe that voter fatigue exists or plays a crucial role in awards, the Karl Malone over Michael Jordan saga is going to hammer it home. In 1997, MJ was at the apex of his career. He had won 4 league MVPs and did so consistently the year before with the 96 awards. Here is MJ's seasonal record difference. MJ averaged 0.8 points and 0.7 rebounds less per game. Shot 0.9% worse from the field and averaged the same number of assists. His season-long numbers were nearly identical. So someone must have had an outstanding season to steal the award from him, right? That, too, was not the case. Karl Malone had an impressive season score, scoring 27.4 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game against Jordan's 29.6 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game. That year, MJ's Bulls had won 69 games, and he had 18.3 win share, which was clearly more than Malone's 16.7. However, Jordan did nothing to relinquish his throne, and Malone did nothing to depose him. Why? Because the voter wants a new face for MVP. Though MJ finished his career with 5 MVP awards, he was robbed on 3 separate occasions. He should have taken home the award in 1990 and 1993 respectively. Karl Malone over Tim Duncan and Alonzo Mourning in the 1998-1999 season. All 3 players came really close to winning the MVP title in 1999. It wasn't a flawless season for Karl Malone, Tim Duncan, and Alonzo Mourning in the lockout year of 50 games. One of the closest races in history, Alonzo Mourning averaged 20 points per game and 11 rebounds per game, and led Miami to the top, while second-year sensation Tim Duncan led his team the San Antonio Spurs to the best record in a tie with the Utah Jazz. Although Malone had a great season, most fans believed Mourning or Tim Duncan should have won the MVP award. Alonzo Mourning had the best season of his impressive career this season. He averaged 20.1 points per game and 11 rebounds per game and led the Heat to the best record in the East. Tim Duncan led the Spurs to the best record in the West. He averaged 21.7 points per game and 11.4 rebounds per game this season. The Spurs and Jazz were tied for the best record at one time in the 98-99 campaign before the Spurs overtook the Jazz. Even though Mourning had a great season, after his dust-up with Larry Johnson in the 1998 playoffs and his on-court persona, he was a very unpopular pick. Malone was still very popular with the voters, winning the award over Duncan even though most fans believe the opposite. Things pretty much even out for Duncan. He would go on to win the title in 1999 while Malone and the Utah Jazz were eliminated in the second round of that year's playoffs. Shaquille O'Neal over Steve Nash the 2004-2005 season. There could be nothing rigidly said about MVP. In the NBA season 2004-2005, Steve Nash won his first MVP by averaging 15.5 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 11.5 assists. On the other hand, Shaq played insanely well after being traded to Miami Heat. He justified his promise with the fans by averaging 22.9 points, 10.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 2.3 blocks per game. His stats were comparatively better than Steve Nash's stats. Plus, Shaq was on a new team and made an immediate impact where he was clearly the most valuable player. And despite O'Neal and the Heat winning the championship, with Dwayne Wade becoming a bona fide star in the playoffs, Steve Nash was still awarded the MVP award. It seems like the voters already made up their minds very early. Steve Nash over Kobe Bryant, the 2005-2006 season. The core purpose of awarding the best player is to appreciate their mind-blowing efforts and to encourage them and other players to be better than ever. Despite having a great career, Kobe Bryant won the award only once, and it didn't come until his 12th season in the league. To most sports fans, how can this be? The same controversy would arise 2 seasons later in the 2008-2009 campaign. Back in 2006, Kobe was in his second year with the Lakers without Shaq, and expectations were low for the Lakers due to their roster lacking talent with guys such as Kwame Brown and Smush Parker. Bryant led them to the playoffs while scoring 35.4 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game. Those 35.4 points per game ranked 7th all-time, with Wilt claiming 5 of the top 6 slots. His iconic 81-point game against the Raptors was one of the performances that helped Kobe achieve that sky-high average that year. Steve Nash had a decent season, scoring 18.1 points and 10.5 assists per game, but it wasn't something special compared to Bryant's season. The stats he put up to lead his team to the playoffs might have won him his first MVP award. If you replaced Kobe with Nash on that specific Lakers team, it's difficult to picture them even making the playoffs. Kobe Bryant over Chris Paul, the 2007-2008 season. Bryant is the first shooting guard in NBA history who played 20 seasons, and he also has the title of all-time leading Lakers scorer. But surprisingly, he won just a single MVP award throughout his career, and that too with a controversy. Kobe had on average 6.3 rebounds per game, 5.4 assists per game, and 1.8 steals per game on 28.3 points per game. But Paul, then 22, started his career on the team that was once known as New Orleans Hornets. In just his third season in the NBA, he averaged 21.1 points per game, 11.6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2.7 steals. He is the only player with an average of 11 assists with less than 3 turnovers, a better assist-to-turnover ratio than the great John Stockton. Paul was also the leader on the Hornets in the Western Conference, finishing in second place. But Kobe was very dominant, and Paul has yet to win the MVP award. Derrick Rose over LeBron James, the 2010-2011 season. For the third time in NBA history, voters wanted to interrupt the momentum of a legend coming off of back-to-back MVP wins. Instead of LeBron James, Derrick Rose earned his MVP award in 2011. Even though he was just 22 years old, he averaged 25 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 7.7 assists a game. That doesn't mean Derrick wasn't great. However, in terms of statistics, LeBron was well ahead. D. Rose's 7.7 assists per game score was the only thing he did better than LeBron that season. One possible reason for Rose receiving the award is that he was more involved in media coverage and the public showed more interest in Rose than LeBron. However, this does not justify LeBron's numbers at all. By scoring 26.7 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, James silenced his critics. Despite this, he placed third in MVP voting, behind Orlando's Dwight Howard and Chicago Bulls point guard Derrick Rose. Many suspect James' unpopular off-season moves influenced the results of the voters, as he would join the Miami Heat. MVP controversies are unlikely to stop in the future. In fact, we can't predict anything about the 2021 MVP, but this controversial style has made this award so interesting. That's why we see NBA players striving for it, and we as an audience feel the heat and energy of competition. So what is your favorite MVP snub, and to whom should the award have been given to instead? Let us know in the comments section, and if you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Until next time.